What is courage? It's not confidence. It's when you take action about something while you're still shaking, while your body is like, oh my God, I'm so scared, but you do it anyway. I'm Michelle. Welcome to Reflections with Black Swan. So being a black sheep of the family means that you've had to stand up quite a lot for yourself, usually because nobody else has stood up for you. And you find yourself in these situations quite a lot. Your voice shakes, usually because you've been told that you don't have a voice. And to stand your ground with something takes a real lot of effort, a real push. The more you do it, though, the easier it does get. Lots of situations. To walk away from those situations is probably the biggest one. When you finally have had enough, something usually little will be that little bit of thing that gives you that little bit of courage. I'll just tell you a funny story. My ex-husband, second one, we ended up getting back together after a couple of months of separating. You know, you stumble as you go out the door. I had 3 children with him. I was trying to do the best for them, or I thought it was the best for them. And we ended up going on a holiday to Wales in a caravan, nothing flash because he was tight as anything. And on the first night there, got into bed with him, which was, I hadn't done it for a while. And do you know what he did? He was there and he patted the bedclothes like this. And he went, "It's so nice to get into a fresh, nice, clean bed." Now, I knew what he was insinuating. He was insinuating that to be with me, the house wasn't clean or anything like that. And I laughed to myself because I'm thinking, you've been living on your own for like 3 or 4 months. You're not getting in a fresh bed anymore. And it was just that moment that allowed me to rise that little bit more away from the fear and the shame that I was feeling around the whole relationship. And in that exact moment, that's when I just knew, that's it, we are done. It gave me the courage. It just gave me the courage. That wasn't the end of that. I ended up having to self-represent in court for 2.5 years after that. I had no legal backing because I was a student at the time and they took my student things into account, so I couldn't get legal aid, anything like that, and I couldn't pay for thousands of pounds for a lawyer, so I ended up doing it myself. That took a lot of courage. I had no choice, but I still had to do it anyway. I had to do it, and I did it, and I did it fairly well. I've had a good outcome, but it wasn't easy, and every time I got into court I was feeling physically sick. I was shaking. I was scared to begin with, I must say, but eventually I realised that I have a voice, and I said no to the judge, and that took them a little bit by surprise, but I was allowed to say no, which is something that we weren't told that we can do. We're not told that we can say no in any situation usually. And that's one word that I have learned to say now with quite conviction. It's quite empowering when you can just say no. For example, just saying no, I don't want to go to meet up with a group of friends the other day, and I just said no. Do you know what? I'm not going. And I didn't explain myself. I just said no. It doesn't mean that you have to be cold. It doesn't mean you have to be calculating. You just have to listen to yourself, because especially if you've been a black sheep for so many years, you have been conditioned to say yes. You've got to say yes. You've got to do as you're told. You've got to toe the line. But when you say no and realise that when you're doing it for the right reasons and you're doing it for yourself, and you actually just don't want to do something, then just say no. Just say no. Getting over that bridge of shame and fear is huge. It's where we are in society, and it's where we are in our own interpersonal relationships. But if you can't be true to yourself, then what is the point? That's when you start getting, depressed, apathetic. You're lower, you're shrinking, you're not being yourself. It takes the courage to stand up and actually say what you want to say, what we want to do. I mean, a lot of people have said to me, you're so brave doing YouTube videos, or crazy, or both. I don't know. But hey, why not? Why not? We've all got something to say. We've all got some experiences that somebody else will find motivating, empowering, or funny, or thank God I'm not like that. Something. There'll be something. So it's not got to be about you all the time either. It's just free, just being free. Isn't that a nice feeling? Homework. So just do one courageous act today. Tell a truth, set a boundary, and refuse to explain yourself. You don't need to explain why you don't want to go down the pub with your mates tonight. You don't want to go. That's fine. Just say no. That's all you need to do. So if that's giving you a little bit of a boost, that's great. I'm getting a bit warm in here now today. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.